Started. So welcome everybody to our year-end Life Changer call. My name is Rachel Garcia. This is a call that I have been running for many, many years. Some of you listening may not even know what Life Changers is, but I will briefly share a little bit about my experience with you today. I'm coming to you live, not from my home office in my home studio where most of you see me present most of the time, but from our hotel room or our condo in Oahu, Hawaii, actually in Waikiki Beach. And this is a trip that my husband and I just planned in the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to rewind for just a moment for those of you who are new to our team, maybe don't know our story, but I was first introduced to this beautiful business that we do back in 2008. And I will tell you right now, I was very cynical and very skeptical about it. I went to school for 8.5 years to study medicine, to become a physician assistant, to practice medicine. I chose to do that because I loved helping people, number one. Number two, I wanted to have a career that would always have a job. And I've really been diving into the whys of why I do what I do and why I've chosen the life that I've chosen in the last couple of days. And I believe that a huge part of why I chose that profession was because I didn't ever want to not be able to work or not make money. You see, I grew up in a family of 7 children. We came from poverty. We came from not a lot of money. Just to give you an example, my first grade picture, I'm wearing the exact same clothes as my sister, who's 11 years older than me, was wearing in her first grade picture. We always wore hand-me-downs. A vacation for us was driving over to St. George Island from Tallahassee, Florida, and going to the beach. I did not go to Disney World until I was grown and had left the house and went with my boyfriend. And so I came from a life of not having very much extra. And I always knew that I wanted to have more. And I worked hard for it. And I made the choices that I thought I needed to make to be able to have those things. I studied hard in school. I had 3 jobs all through high school. I had 2 jobs all through college. I had a job in PA school until they told me that I couldn't have a job in PA school anymore. And so I chose this profession, and I went to school for a really long time and studied really hard and graduated and was board certified to practice medicine in the state of Florida, and was doing that to the best of my ability, and literally rose to the top in that field of practice. And that I was often getting asked to come and work for other doctors in the areas. I was maxing out my commissions in the point in a matter of, I was maxing out my salary, and then my commission that they were giving me, I was maxing that out as well because of my hard work. I tell you all of this for a reason. I was a hard, stinking worker. And in 2008, the economy was crashing. And my husband, who had just started his own business in 2008 and was doing really well for a short time, started to see all of his income disappear. And the doctor that I worked for called me into the office and said, "Rachel, I know we've agreed in our contract, but we can't pay you that anymore. You make more than some of the doctors that are here, and we're going to have to lower how much we pay you." Now, after working for 8 years with physicians, I'd had that happen to me twice, where I was told that I made too much money. And so I started thinking, and I started looking, and I started thinking, and I started looking, and I started looking for a way to create an additional income stream that would give me financial freedom and would give me stability to where I did not have to work or slave away for someone else while I was neglecting my children. And many of you know our story. We opened a construction company. I opened a skincare retail store, and we worked even harder. And we had even less time at home with our boys. And I hired someone to raise my children, essentially, which made me sick to my stomach because I had 2 miscarriages before my first baby. And I wasn't even sure I could have children. And now I had these beautiful baby boys, and I was paying someone who I loved dearly, but they started calling her mom because I was never home, and they always were. And so I was doing everything that I knew how to do. I was working as hard as I could possibly work and doing everything that I'd read, right? They say, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, work hard, work hard, work hard. That's what I was doing. And it wasn't working. And I didn't see an end in sight. And in 2008, when the economy is crashing, more and more debt is piling up. I'm never seeing my children. I'm trying really hard to work my way out of this, but it really wasn't happening. And you can begin to feel like you're drowning and like there's no way out. Like this is just life. This is just as good as it gets. And I'm going to be doing a little bit more of a training a little bit later, but about the inner villain, the voice inside of you that is there to sabotage you, that is there to tell you this is just the way life is always going to be. No, you can never make that much money. You can never go on a trip to Hawaii. You can never go on a trip to Europe. You can never put your kids in that private school. All those negative voices that were in my head would kind of start to come out. And it wasn't until someone that I loved dearly, who basically made me look at what you guys have looked at in the company that we work with, that my life changed. My life changed by watching one video. It was like opening the door to a whole nother world. And let me tell you, I did not see the opportunity for the financial freedom and the time freedom and the vacations and the ability to, I didn't see all that when the door first cracked open. It was like a little crack in the door. I didn't see all that. All I saw was a better way to help people. And that's why I went to school. That's the real reason why I chose what I chose, was to help people. And medicine has changed so drastically in the last 15 years that I began to feel in 2008 that I wasn't helping people anymore. I began to feel that I worked in a factory. How many prescriptions could I write a day? How many biopsies could I do a day? How much money could I produce a day in the office? And I began to see a way, possibly, when this little door was open, to really, really help people. And so now I will tell you, our life has drastically changed. And I was thinking about it as I was, thinking about this year-end call and this trip that we planned very last minute. Why was it so last minute? Well, I've been dreaming about taking my children to Hawaii for years. It's in my vision boards. It's in my journals. I've been dreaming about it. I've been thinking about it. Then we have this COVID pandemic, right? Where the entire world is shut down. And I'm looking at where can we go and what can we do? Because you know what my boys have been doing for the last 9 months? Probably exactly what your teens and your middle schoolers and your elementary schools have been doing. They've been staring at what I call the heroin box. They've been staring at it and staring at it and staring at it. And whether they're staring at it for school projects, or they're staring at it because they want to be on social media because that's where all their friends are, or they're staring at it because they play their games on there, they're staring at it. And trying to get them to turn it off is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I've ever had to deal with doing. And so I start thinking of, how can I get my boys outside? How can I get them away from the heroin box? How do I get them to do something different? And so I'm starting to think of all the different places and all the different things that we can do. And I really hear in my head, I'm thinking, what good is all this money you're making, Rachel? And what good is all the time freedom you have if you can't really use it and do the things that you want to do with your children and build those relationships with your children? I am on here with you today while my children are out doing a private surfing lesson that I want to be at. I want to be there and see my two boys do private surfing lessons. You may be thinking, oh my gosh, well, why is she here with us? Because I was thinking about it and I was planning it. I'm so thankful for the life that we've been able to build, but I want that for others. I know there are so many people who wake up to the alarm clock, who look at their bank accounts and their credit card accounts and their numbers, and they don't know how they're going to get their credit score higher. They don't know how they're going to save up what they need to save up to get out of the debt that they need to get out of. They don't know. They're looking to move. They're looking to put their kids into a private school, and they have no way of doing it. And they actually don't even know if they're still going to have their job in the next 6 months. And they're looking. Maybe they're skeptical and they're cynical like me, and they're like, oh, yeah, there's nothing out there that I don't know about, and those things don't work. These things work. What we do works, and it works better than anything else out there. And I'm so thankful that the person that shared this with me, who was my brother, said to me, I'm not getting off the phone until you agree to look at this, Rachel. I mean, I had the option of hanging up on him or agreeing to look at it, basically. And I agreed to look at it. And it changed my life forever. Forever. No more concerns about finances. No more concerns about time freedom. We now have money to invest, to create more money. Javier used to say years ago, we've been married 23 years, guys. Javier used to say years ago, well, you need to have money to make money, Rachel. You need to have money to make money. If you listen to what we're talking about today, and you make the decision that you're going to make a change in 2021, this can be the best year of your life. So before I bring on our first speaker of the day, I want you to think about what would your best year look like. If we fast forward to December 27th, 2021, I want to encourage you to literally, wherever you are, close your eyes right now and think about it. Think about it for a moment. Where will you be? I want you to think about what your best year would look like. What size pants will you be in? What number is on your bank account balance, your checking account balance, your saving account balance? What number, what's your credit score? What are your credit card debt? Do you have any credit card debt? Where do you live? What do you do all day long? How much time do you spend with your family and your kids? What does that best year ever look like? We're going to help you create that best year here today. Today is the starting point. Keep that in mind, what that best year is going to look like as you begin to really take lessons and learn from two women who have totally transformed their lives. And they, like me, were open, decided to take a look, and then dove in. We're going to give you a lot of tools today. This is recorded. It will be played again. But I want for you, this is why I left my boys down on the beach with their dad. Because I want for you what we've been able to achieve. It is an absolute gift. There are people that I've worked with over the years who achieved what they wanted and then they left. And they stopped sharing and they stopped building and they stopped taking time and pouring into the people that they brought into the business. And I don't want to do that to you. I want to take all that I've learned in 12 years and pour it into you so that you can achieve what I've achieved in a quarter of the time, because you're not going to have to make the mistakes that I've made. So I'm excited for you because this is a brand new year. I don't care what you do or where you are, but I want you to know this next 12 months can be the best 12 months of your life. And the only thing that's holding you back is you. It is the only thing holding you back. And I'm going to do some training here in just a little while on how to change that. But you're going to hear from some amazing, amazing people first. And so I have the great honor of bringing up my dear, dear friend, Melissa Urban first. So there's two other speakers today, and they're both what we call Black Diamonds in this company. Black Diamonds, I'm just going to say it this way to people who don't know what that means. Black Diamonds are people who've changed a lot of lives. And this woman single-handedly brought and changed thousands of lives in the Northeast region of the country. And so you guys are going to get to hear from her and learn from her today. I did not know Melissa Urban when she joined back in 2014. I told my cousin in 2009, 10 about this business. And she told someone who 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 told Melissa. And my cousin said, I think we have someone pretty amazing. I would love for you to get on the phone and chat with her. And it's really, the rest is history. And she single-handedly has changed a lot of lives. And I'm excited for you guys to learn from her, be inspired by her today. And so Melissa, thank you for being on today. And I'm going to let you take it away.
Thank you, Rachel. Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to be part of this very special training and call. I've been with Pure for 7 years coming up in February of 2021. And I hope that you can take some of the nuggets that we're going to share with you today and really apply them to what you want to achieve in the next year. I mean, listen, we didn't expect what was going to happen this current year, but we can't look back. We can only look forward. And we really want to prepare you guys for your best year yet. A lot of people say, oh, we lost out on this, or we lost out on that this year, we missed out on this or missed out on that. And, and in life, I really don't look at things as, losing out or missing out. I think it's you either win or you learn from every experience, and you have a choice. You have a choice to make going forward, what you want to do with what you've learned. And all what I've experienced in the last 7 years, I'm going to kind of pull out some great nuggets, which we really call high performance training. I have 6 bullet points I really want to review with you guys. Some things you may know or already apply in your business, but I hope that maybe you can tweak some of them and grow with us together as we really map out what our 2021 will be. So this whole kind of title of what I'm going to speak about is called Action Mindset. But I want you to, so write that down, Action Mindset, but I want you to add the word and discipline, because without discipline in this business, in this industry, or really any big goal or big idea, it's going to be hard to be successful fast. And I say that because so many people are very easily distracted in life, or pulled in multiple directions. And to have the discipline that it takes to achieve your big goal, or big plan, right, is could be a task. So I'm going to help map this out for you, and provide this action mindset. So number one, the first thing I want to talk about is, and here's number one, adopt 30-minute daily block of time. Now, if you have heard me speak before, I talk about building this business in the nooks and crannies of your day all the time, which is true. I did that in the very beginning. I was a busy mom. This was something that was layered into my life, and I didn't plan for it. So I kind of started working my business in the nooks and crannies of my day, which a lot of people can do, and it may work in their life. But, big goals and big dreams, and when we launch many of you into this business, you want to be a six-figure earner, or you want to be a crown diamond one day, or you want to make thousands of dollars a week or a month in this business. These are some big goals that are going to require at least a minimum of a 30 block time a day. Now that could be any part of your day. And people say to me sometimes, well, I don't know if I have 30 minutes of time. I got to get up, I got to get to work, I got to get the kids to school, I have to grocery shop and cook and clean and, run the kids to activities. And the reality is, if it's important enough to you, you will find the time for it. 30 minutes of time is nothing. The average person watches 4 hours of TV a day. So many people spend time scrolling on social media and the internet mindlessly, when you can be applying that time to revenue producing activities. So I want you to really think about your day. I did a lot of my business and growth in my car. I utilized driving in the car, making phone calls, listening to personal development, building my mindset to create that action mindset going forward. So new ideas must have a new block of time. You can write that down. So if you've got a new idea, a new goal, right, you want to achieve it in 2021, it must have a new block of time. That might be your lunch break from 12 to 12:30. It might be you get up 30 minutes earlier in the day. It may mean you do it right when you get home from work before you sit down to make dinner. It might mean after the kids go to bed, you spend 30 minutes of time. But set an alarm on your phone so that it reminds you, and that you cut all distractions from that time, because that is your pure time. And if it's important to you, you will carve out the time. You don't want to be distracted or unprepared if you have this big goal. Okay. Number two, the first output rule. Okay. First output rule. To accomplish anything, you have to start somewhere. Again, a lot of people, when I meet you and I launch you, and Rachel and Linley and I and some of the leaders, we talked to a lot of people that have these big goals, these big end goals in mind, which are awesome. And we want you to think big, but you have to begin with that first step. So let me give you an example. If you said to me, I want to write a book, but I can't start the book unless I have all my ideas written down and I know all the characters and I have the chapters in order. And, that just seems like so overwhelming, right? Most people start with page 1. Don't think about that whole big end goal yet, right? Let's start with page 1. If you write page 1, it will lead you to page 2. Page 2 will lead you to page 3. And before you know it, you have an entire chapter done and you feel accomplished. Same thing here with this business. I might say to, Rachel, I want to be a chairman Black Diamond. This is a goal for me, right? But I know that it starts with that step 1. And for most people here in Pure, their step 1 is creating their list, right? Creating a fresh new list as if you're a brand new IBO in this business. Learning to invite. This skill is so powerful. We've got multiple videos on this for sure. Learning to be confident, connecting your prospects to us. This is a huge skill over and over again that should be repeated and practiced until it's become second nature, and for your mindset as well. And then of course, following up. So those basic steps are what is going to lead you to your end goal, right? So you have to start someone. So what is your first output for 2021? What is the first thing, that first step you want to take to jump your business into the right direction? Okay, I highly suggest you write that down, and I highly suggest you discuss it with your upline leader. So that way everyone can be on the same page. That really starts to create the momentum, which leads me into number 3. Number 3 is the 90-day challenge. Again, I talk a lot about this with my team for sure. I've always worked my business in 90-day increments. I hope you have a good calendar. I've written out calendar. It's kind of, I call my map for the year, my guide, and it should go with you everywhere you go. So mapping out in 90-day increments is a little more manageable than saying, oh, in 2021, I want to be this rank or this, this, hit this financial goal, or that's kind of scary, right? Like, a lot can happen in a year, but 90 days is a little more manageable. So, let's talk about your 90 days. And it's not a forever thing. It's just 90 days. You can reevaluate every 90 days. Do I always hit my goals at the end of 90 days? No. Can I reevaluate where I'm at? Maybe clean up my schedule, clean up my routine, focus better on things and regroup every 90 days? Yes. So it's same thing goes for things like weight loss or financial goals or relationships or marriage. You need to reevaluate every 90 days, and you need to chip away at that. And of course, it needs to be written. And I know Linley's going to talk a little bit about your vision board and, visualizing those goals. But 90 days is more attainable for most people than just throwing out there what you want to accomplish in 2021. Number 4 is my favorite, and it's called drop list. Okay, DROP, drop list. So there's no new business or idea or goal in life without a drop list. And what I mean by this is, what are you going to take off your plate or stop doing? When I was first introduced to this business as a busy mom, juggling 2 different schedules for my kids, a house, dogs, a husband, I was teaching group fitness, I was learning choreography for hours on end, managing life, laundry, cooking, cleaning, all the daily things, exhausting myself, layering this onto my life. You have to give something up, right? Sure. Same thing with achieving weight loss. Anything really in life, you have to give up something to get what you want, because we can't take it all on all the time. So every 30 days, I just started applying this kind of rule to myself. The first of every month, reevaluating your drop list. Maybe you took on 6 more activities or responsibilities this month. And at the end of the month, you realize, wow, that was really overwhelming. I really ran out of time, or I felt exhausted, or I couldn't focus on other things I needed to focus on. So I need to drop 3 of the 6 things I took on. Okay. Sometimes we take on too many things because we say yes to everything. We say yes to volunteering and donating our time, and right. So the power of no comes into play a little bit with your drop list, because it's okay to say no to things, because it can be very overwhelming in life. I gave up watching TV at night, right? I started filling my mind with a more positive mindset, reading books, creating that vision and future of where I wanted to go, the lives I wanted to change, and what I wanted to accomplish with this business. I started buying healthier foods, right? And cutting out a lot of the stuff I would have bought, years ago. I also stopped hanging around negative people. You want to surround yourself with like-minded people who are going to help you achieve your goals. I also had to give up some activities, responsibilities, chores, so to speak, and delegate to other people. And you know what? That's okay too. You can't do everything yourself all the time. And that's something that I've always struggled with. Some of us are more controlling than others, especially when it comes to household things. And if I want to change thousands of lives this year, I'm going to have to look at my drop list every single month and say, okay, I took on too many things. I have to drop that because I want to focus here. So that's a great one. Number 5, It's really called accountability, but the fun name is Friday Friend Status Call, okay? Or really an accountability group. That's number 5. The fun name is the Friday Friend Status Call, because I really feel that every week, and we're going to be introducing these wonderful accountability groups in January. I'm sure Rachel's going to talk more about, but it makes such a difference. We are people that need people. We need to socialize with each other. It's just human nature. Picking up the phone and having someone that you can just get things off your chest and say, hey, I got this accomplished this week. I didn't do this. I was excited about this. I met this person. I should have done this. Having someone to communicate and be accountable every single week. It could be brief, it could be short. Our accountability groups are 30 minutes, one time a week. It's a great way to keep your blinders on, keep you focused and on the right path, and have that connection with others. It makes such a world of difference. So we hope that you guys are going to join us in our accountability groups in 2021 to set yourself up for success. We must socialize and ask for help. And write this down. Big dreams require weekly check-ins. Big dreams require weekly check-ins. This is huge. You may not think you need it, but I'm speaking from experience. I hit Presidential Black Diamond this year. Right before I hit that, we had accountability groups. We started accountability groups. We started checking in. It fuels your fire every week. It builds your belief. You bounce ideas off each other. It's super exciting. So that is number 5. And number 6, this is a new one for me. Create motivation triggers. Okay, create motivation triggers. This is part of your action mindset. So a trigger is something physical or emotional that happens, and you attach either a statement or an action to it. Okay, so for example, when you get into your car, right, every single day, what do you say to yourself? What do you think? When you walk through your doorway into your house, maybe when you walk into your office, right? Maybe when you look at yourself in the mirror. Do you have a motivation trigger? Okay. Do you walk into your office and say, I am a happy person. I'm going to change lives today and serve others? And if you don't say that, why not? We should have happy motivation triggers wherever we go. Do you look in the mirror in the bathroom and have something that you say to yourself that is positive? Trust me, it makes a difference. I'm all about setting the mind straight, so to speak, in the right frame so we can accomplish great things. Don't ever wait to provide service to other people. Are you ready to serve? And I always say we come up with a lot of excuses a lot of times. And I've done it too, right? I'm ready to serve, but I can't go live on Facebook because I don't have the right lighting. I don't have the right camera. I can't find a quiet space in my house because the dog is barking or the kids need me. I mean, we all have excuses all the time for different things, right? But if I can say, I'm going to walk into my office because it's time to serve. I'm a happy person. Today's a good day. I choose to be positive. It's awesome. So there is not one day I'll do that. Today is the day that you will do that. Triggers remind us to be the best of ourselves. If you're not triggering yourself, guess what? The world is doing it for you. And trust me, there is a lot of negativity in this world. There's angst, there's outrage, there's distraction, there's consumption, there's nothing good. So create this habit, right? This powerful habit of setting the mind straight, having these motivational triggers throughout your day. Does your phone remind you how great you are? Again, the mirror, the car, the office, walking into your home, whatever it might be, create that positive trigger going forward. So to recap for 2021, some great ways to help you be successful. Adapt your 30-minute time block. Your first output rule. What's the first thing you're going to do in 2021? Your 90-day time block, right? Your 90-day challenge for yourself. Your drop list. What are you going to take off of your calendar, right? Take off of your schedule. Your accountability group, or your weekly check-in with someone, that's huge. And then your motivation triggers. Recipe for success right there. All the above help us to increase productivity, step into the unknown, lead this industry, raise necessity, and be a better version of you. And I just want to recap at the final thing. I know Rachel's been talking about this a lot, but a great way to set yourself up for success in 2021 is to lock in your Star 5 status, right? Lock in your Star 5 status. You've got a few more days to do it, to set yourself up for success going forward. Earn that 50% back in customer repeat orders, and you are well on your way. And of course, grab your tickets for Pure Fire, because we are going to be in there pouring into you, filling your mind with that positivity so you can grow even further. So thank you, Rachel, for letting me jump on tonight and share some tips.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Melissa. That was amazing. I know you guys took notes as well. Big dreams come from weekly check-ins was one of my favorite things that she said. I know there was so much, but yes, we are going to have accountability calls starting. And so here's what I'm going to ask you to do right now. Rachel at purelifechangers.com. That's RACHEL at purelifechangers.com. Send me an email that says accountability groups, and then that's in the subject. And then if you need to set, it needs to have the subject accountability groups, or I won't find it because I get so many emails. And then in there say, I would love to be a part of an accountability group. You will then be siphoned off into either Linley's team, my team, Melissa's team. You're all on my team, and we'll be figuring out which group is best for you for your accountability calls. Each of them, as well as myself, are going to be running multiple accountability calls starting in January. So we need to make sure that we know who wants to be a part of that. So go ahead and email me now asking for that. There was so much greatness that came out of that. And again, I have some of trainings of my own that I want to talk about, but I want to make sure that you get to hear from both of these speakers so that you can, I hope you're taking notes and you're getting inspired about what can happen. There's so many different ways to build this business. You can build it slow, you can build it fast, but I know this. I know that there's nothing else out there that you can do part-time on your own from your phone that can create the kind of income and financial freedom that this has. There's nothing else out there like it. The benefit that you get to help people, it's a crazy bonus that we get to help people. And again, that is the driving factor for me. It's why I'm here. I believe everyone deserves to know that they can achieve their dreams and their goals. And it starts with, as Melissa said, weekly check-in. So you make sure you email me that. Okay, so our next speaker is also a Black Diamond in the company. Linley Paske achieved Presidential Black Diamond in 2019. She joined in 2018. So you guys are going to get to hear her amazing story, as well as the training that she has put together for you all today to take your life to the next level, setting your intentions. And I cannot wait for you to hear all that she has to share. So Linley, take it away.
All right. Hi, guys. Rachel, thank you so much for having me. I am thrilled to be sharing with you guys tonight. I have been through quite a personal growth journey with Pure, and I think that's probably the best thing that I would say I would take away from this business. The income is wonderful. The health and the wellness is amazing. But when at 40 years old, you start to really figure out that you want to be a better person and you can grow into becoming your best self through this business. I really believe that's the best gift that it's given me. And so I just wanted to share some things with you guys. I used to think of personal development and some of the things that I'm going to talk about as kind of hooey, or, mumbo jumbo, or, whatever you want to call it. But what I have found is that when you really will take the time to actually do these exercises and activities, you will see your life transform. Before I got started with Pure, I owned a small business. Part of that small business was helping people to kind of figure out where they were going with their small business with some training. And so I would read books with them as a group, and then we would go over them together. One of the books I read actually got me started down this path of speaking things out loud, talking about what I wanted, setting intentions. And now I have really just seen how far you can go with that. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and go over what I believe is really the first place that you should start with the new year, which is transforming your mind and really thinking about where you want to be in 2021. And so I just want to introduce you guys to the pure gift. You can't change the past. You can't predict the future. All we have is the gift of today, and that is why it's called the present. And so as we're going into 2021 and thinking about our future, it's really important not to get too caught up in thinking too far ahead and missing where we are right now, which is the present. A lot of people, close the book. Well, 2020 is already done. I'm already into 2021. Or, like Melissa and Rachel were saying, putting things off until things are perfect. But we really just need to start now. We are in the present. What we have been given in 2020 is the hurry up and wait. And I think many of us in the business right now would say that we had a lot of things stacked against us in 2020. We've been living in survival mode with this sense of waiting for the website to be fixed, right? We had some issues with the Pure website at the beginning of the year, waiting for our kids to go back to school, waiting until we could travel, waiting for things to go back to normal. We faced a global pandemic. We had a quarantine, all these things that we could not predict. So a lot of us were waiting for everything to kind of be where it was supposed to be or be perfect or back to normal before we did anything. And so what I want to encourage you as you're looking into 2021 is to focus on the things that you can control, because there are a lot of things in our lives, you guys, that we can't control. And you will chase your tail and you will send yourself into anxiety, depression, stress, all these things if you are trying to, bring everything into normalcy or find some sense of control of the things that are uncertain. So really focusing, what can I do? What do I have control of? I have control of myself. I have control of my thoughts. I have control of my actions. And I have control of what I choose to do in 2021. And so really making the decision that you are not going to be dependent on what happens around you. You are going to make it happen for yourself, and you are going to take control in 2021. A lot of people do New Year resolutions, right? And that's something that's kind of a big deal as far as changing your year. And the definition of a resolution is a promise to yourself to do or not to do something. But what I think about is what happens if you break that promise. So you've promised yourself something in the beginning of the year, but this is a lot of the times how it goes, right? You're going strong with your resolution through the beginning of January, and then mid-February, the novelty kind of fails. And then you have life come along and resolutions kind of start taking a back seat. And then you feel like, well, I haven't really done this. I'm not succeeding. And you abandon it, even though at the beginning of the year, it was something very important for you. And so you get to the end of the year and you've done nothing towards that resolution, and you've really broken a promise to yourself. And the other thing about the resolutions, as they are typically set, is that a lot of them take a long time to achieve. I want to do this by the end of the year. I want to, lose weight, or I want to make this amount of money, or I want, to find a partner, whatever it is. And so you have to wait a long time to see the success, right? It doesn't come, in January. You have to take steps to get there. And so a lot of us, it's like we've bitten off more than we can chew. And when we don't see the success coming fast enough, we abandon it. And so you can see where that would be overwhelming. So what I want to encourage you to do, rather than setting resolutions, is to think about setting intentions for 2021. Intentions are more about who we want to be in the present moment and how we show up in our lives. So instead of saying, I want to lose weight, or I want to lose 50 pounds, which that's not going to happen overnight, you say, I want to be a healthy person. Who do I want to be? I want to be a healthy person. And that means that every day when you wake up, you're making decisions based on who you want to be. And if you make those decisions every day, by the end of the year, you're going to see that goal accomplished because you have set the intention of being the person that reaches that goal. And so instead of attaching yourself to a resolution or a goal, attach yourself to who you want to be and decide what is it that what are the actions that I need to be taking in order to be this person? What type of person what does a healthy person do? What kind of decisions do they make? And so you're allowing yourself to be in the present of that goal versus tying yourself to the end result. It's all about how we want to show up for ourselves, right? And that's really what's important, is that these are goals we're setting for ourselves. No one is making us do this. This is who we want to be. And so we should be accountable to ourselves in deciding the kind of person that we want to be. So in that vein, I want to challenge you guys to choose a theme for 2021. Think about what your intentions are. Think about what you want, where you want to be at the end of the year, and then pick a theme, a word, anything: family, freedom, health, courage. And you can actually get together with your family and decide what you want it to be as a family. And then also everybody can have their own individual word. And then really create something around that word. Draw it or paint it or find something that you wear that reminds you of it, so that every time you're going to make a decision, you're focused back on that word that focuses you back on your intention, on who you want to be. So my word for this year, I'm sharing it with you guys, and I'm going to go through a little bit about it, is gift. Remember, I said that all we really have is the present, and that's why they call it a gift. So I'm going to be striving to recognize the gift that I have every day, the gift that I've been given of time, the gift that I've been given of ability, right? I can get up and walk. I can speak. I can hear. I can see. I have the ability to do things. I have gifts and talents that God gave me. You have gifts and talents that God gave you. So my goal is that every day I wake up and I work in these, right? I don't just take advantage of the fact that I have them, or not work to my potential. I actually recognize those gifts and work in them. So I have also made it into an anagram so that it's easy for me to remember kind of my principles. So the G in gift is having gratitude daily. The I in gift is taking intentional action. The F in gift is having a focused vision. And the T in gift is having a tangible why. I'm going to walk you through each one of those things and kind of what it means to me. So let's start with gratitude. Gratitude daily. Why is gratitude important? You guys, when you hear from almost anyone who has had any success in life, or is in a leadership position, or has, joy, they practice gratitude. So why is gratitude so important? In our business where we talk about supplementing our bodies, I like to remember to always take my vitamin G or vitamin gratitude. Gratitude actually does have health benefits. It allows us to celebrate the present. It blocks toxic emotions where we're thinking about envy or resentment or disappointment, because we're appreciating what we actually have instead of thinking about what we don't. Grateful people are more stress resilient. So when the stress comes on with COVID or quarantine or the website or whatever, if you're grateful for what you have in the moment, it's easier for you to get past negativity. And it strengthens your social ties and self-worth, because you're recognizing the people in your life for who they are and how they are actually bringing something to you and what you can give back to them. So that's where I'm starting, is with vitamin G. Again, it's a healthy thanks. Gratitude journaling. This is something that I have thought about and talked about for years, and I've never actually done it. I don't know if you guys are like me, where you hear about things that people are doing and you're like, oh, that sounds kind of interesting, or, maybe I should try that, but you never actually do. I have heard about this for years, and I'm doing it this year. I am starting a gratitude journal. It's been proven, you guys, medically proven, gratitude journaling reduces depression and perceived stress. Gratitude is related to 23% lower levels of stress hormones. This is crazy to me. Dietary fat is reduced by 25%. So you're eating actually healthier when you keep a gratitude journal. It's related to improved sleep and people have lower levels of hemoglobin A1C. I just included that because my mom's a diabetic, and I find it amazing how much our minds affect our bodies. And so starting in 2021, the first thing that I'm going to do every day is practice gratitude with a gratitude journal. I encourage you guys, look at what you do have. Focus on what you do have instead of focusing on what you don't have. When you practice gratitude, more comes to you. When you see what you have, you see so much more in your life, and it's so much richer. So start with gratitude. Be intentional. So take intentional action. Did you know that everything happens in your life starts with an intention? I think kind of intention as thought. Thoughts become things. If you intend to do something, that means you have a feeling, you have an emotion, you have a movement, you're taking action. Being intentional is more than just having a goal. It's not, oh, I, am, again, like I said, I'm going to lose this weight or whatever it is. It's, I am intending to be the person that will do that. Melissa talked about writing a book. So if I want to write a book, I'm not going to say, I want to write a book this year. I'm going to say, what kinds of things does somebody do that is an author? They sit down and write every day. They work with an editor. They focus on their time planning so that they know when they have to have each piece of their book done. These are intentional thoughts that wrap around whatever your goal is, and then you actually become the person that you are intending to become, or you accomplish the thing that you were intending to accomplish. So starting with intention. Here's some questions you can ask yourself to get clear on your intention. It's just like a business, you guys. We run a business here. Most businesses review the prior year to see what worked, what didn't work, how much money did we make, how much did we, where did we fall down, what's working, what's not. We should do the same thing with our lives. So review what went well, what didn't go as planned, why didn't that goal or plan go as I wanted it to? How can I change my behavior so that I'm working in these habits like I want to be? How can I refine whatever that habit is? If I know I want to get up and work out in the morning, maybe I set my workout clothes out at night, right? And so I know when I wake up, well, there's my workout clothes. They're already there. I'm going to go ahead and put them on and go. So I'm reducing the friction of the action that I want to take. Getting clear. So really asking yourself, what do I really want? What do I not want? Who do I want to be? What kind of person? And then setting your intent. What do I want my life to look like a year from now? Who do you want people to say that you are? Think about the qualities that you would want somebody to describe you as. And then think about how closely aligned you are to those. If you're out of alignment, if you are not those qualities, think about what kind of person you want to become and how you can become more aligned with those qualities. And then think about what you want to accomplish. What do you want to give back? What do you want to have done by the end of this year? And be thinking about that as you set your intention. So the next one, having a focused vision. This is something that we're going to be doing coming up. We're going to be having a workshop to actually complete a vision board. Rachel has been doing vision boards for the last couple of years. I've seen hers. I have kind of a janky vision board, I would say. Like, I've clipped out the pictures and kind of hung them up, but I really didn't go through the process. And so I think a lot of us think, well, that sounds really good, but I don't have time for that. Or, that's kind of who it doesn't really work. This is why vision boards are important. They make you think about what you really want, right? You have to actually think about what your vision is to put it on your vision board. What kinds of things are you wanting to happen in your life this year? What do you want to be on? What do you want to be looking at every day, so that it actually comes into existence? They help you get unstuck. If you feel like you've been kind of in the same place every year and you want to take it to another level, if you actually think and visualize yourself going to that level, you can become unstuck from where you are. They provide you a daily visual reminder of your dreams and goals. We get so busy in our lives and we get so distracted and so overwhelmed and things are going on that we don't even stop to think about what we're doing to get ourselves to our dreams and goals. But if we look at a vision board every day and we see and we tell our minds every day, this is where I want to go. We're lost without a vision. If we don't have a vision of where we're going, we're going to circle around in the same place over and over. So they're going to help you get fired up emotionally. We are emotional beings. And so seeing the things that you want visually every day helps your emotions get behind it, which helps you take action to get there. And they're fun. I enjoy looking at the different, pictures and colors and verses and things. It's a fun exercise to do. And then it can be updated all year long. Your vision may change, or you may adjust it, or you may add things to it. But it's a fun exercise that actually helps us get where we want to go. So how does a vision board work? It actually tricks your mind. So a lot of times your mind doesn't know the difference between actually doing something and just visualizing it. So they take your thoughts and dreams and actually turn it into something that you can see, but you have to actually work with it. Meaning, don't create it and put it in a drawer or put it somewhere where you never see it. You have to look at it every day. You have to actually take the time to think about it as you look at it. Don't let it become something that's just in your periphery that you're not noticing. You have to work your vision board to see your vision. So be visualizing yourself in those places, having that thing accomplished, feeling those feelings that you would feel if you got to that vision, if you actually, manifested those things into your life. I really believe that, for me, I know that God wants me to live my best life so that I can then go and bless others. And it is the same for you. You have to allow yourself to see yourself growing and reaching your vision, accomplishing your goals, and knowing that God wants that for you in your life. And the vision board helps to remind you of that. So then we're going to get to your why, having a tangible why. Why is that important, you guys? I heard this in a training recently. He said, some of you guys, why is not strong enough for you to get over your fear. And that's why you're not successful. And it was kind of like, ooh. And he told the story, if you're standing on a cliff looking over and it's 30 feet down and you don't like adrenaline, you're not going to jump. If you're an adrenaline junkie, you may think, well, the adrenaline I feel is going to be great, so it's worth it for me to jump. If you're not, like most of us, you're not jumping because the fear of jumping is greater than the why. Why am I jumping? But let's imagine that someone you love is struggling to swim in the water below you. You're jumping. You're not even thinking about it. Your why, which is to save or, help the person that you love or care about, is way stronger than your fear. So you're going to actually do it. So you guys, in this business, in your life, if you're working towards something, you have to visualize why you're doing it. And it has to be strong and powerful and tangible. Like, know what it is that's going to happen if you do what you're afraid of, and make it so real and so tangible that there's no way that you would stand there on that cliff. You're jumping because you know that if you do, you're going to have that powerful reward that you visualize, that you've made tangible for yourself. So making a tangible why is such a great place to start, and keeping that with you and in your heart, layering it on your vision board, putting your why on your vision board, allowing it to help you set your intention. I mean, all of these things are related, you guys. And that's really what I think is so important about stopping and taking the time to do this. It's one thing to watch this video, to listen to it and go, yeah, that sounds really exciting, I can't wait. And then never actually taking the time to do it. You have to stop. You have to print out your pictures for your vision board. You have to think, you have to ask yourself questions. You have to really dig deep. Why am I doing this? Why do I care about this over that? What makes me happy? What makes me unhappy? Why am I stressed out? A lot of us that are working with Pure, we do this because we love to help people. And so that's a big part of our why. We love to help people, but we're also earning income. Well, what is that income going to do for us? Is that income going to allow us to have extra time to do the things that really fulfill us, that really, fuel our why, give us time with our family and friends, allow us to go to Hawaii with our children? Why are you doing this? If you're not clear on that, you guys, you might as well just hang it up, because the first obstacle that comes up at you, you're not going to be strong enough to overcome it. You have to know why you're doing this in order to keep pushing forward. And then finally, you guys, once you figure out, where you're going this year. You get your vision, you solidify your why, you set your intention, you're thankful for where you are and what you have. I want you to celebrate. I want you to think about the things that make you happy and celebrate those little victories along the way, because you are changing so many lives. You are changing your own life. You are changing your family's legacy with what you're doing here. And so it's worth celebrating. It's worth being excited about. 2021 is going to be a big, big year for all of us. And I cannot wait to see you a year from now. And I cannot imagine the party that we're going to have at the end of this year.
Awesome. So very, very good, Linley. So I think if you stop sharing your screen, we will jump right in to the very last. I hope you guys all got something from that. I know I did. It was amazing. Today's training is meant to really help catapult you into the next year. And I know all this training from these women have really helped you. And so we're going to wrap up with a few action items. I'm reading this book right now. I'm going to share with you what it is in just a moment. But in terms of thinking of your story and who you are, Linley was just talking about your why, and I was talking a little bit earlier about digging 7 levels deep on your why. And we're going to be talking about that on some of our accountability calls, really knowing why your why is what it is. Not just I want to make extra money, but why do you want to make extra money? And I talked a little bit today about killing that little villain inside of you, that negative voice inside of you that tries to tell you who you are, or what you should or shouldn't have. And I'm going to share a little story with you about a woman named Gina. And Gina was 60 years old, and she spent her whole life basically being super mom, right? So she had 3 kids, and she raised them, and she was at home for them after school, and she baked them cookies, and she helped them with their homework, and she rode them all around town, and she taught piano lessons a little bit on the side for extra money here and there. And she was very, very happy with her life. And when her kids got married and graduated and went off and started to live their own lives, very fulfilled, very happy. And then they began to leave. And the husband said, we are going to need some extra money for these weddings that the children are going to have. What is it that you can do to help on the side? And this is when Gina began to write the story of her life, of who she was. Okay. And I want you to think of what your story is. What do you tell yourself about who you are as you're listening to Gina's story? So Gina's old story went like this. At 60 years old, I have done what I was put on this earth to do, and I was the best wife and mother I could be. I supported my family at every turn, but now that job has come to an end. Now I'm old and lonely and with nothing of significance to do anymore. As my friends say, this is the time in life to wind down, to cherish the past, and to spend less so we can make it through until the end. I have no special skills, so hopefully I can make some extra money teaching more piano. Or maybe by being a greeter at the local department store. This is a youth-based society, and there's no way an older woman like me could do anything of significance. Well, at least I did a great job as a mom. This story isn't that bad, is it? No, it's horrific. It's a horrific story. But this woman went through some of the trainings that we're going to be teaching on the accountability calls, and some of the things we're teaching with you today, and she began to change her story. And these are the things that she wrote down. And she realized that what she was thinking was almost like a parasite inside of her that was sabotaging what her future could look like. And she began to stop those thoughts from coming. So this is the story that she wrote for herself. I am a strong, young 63-year-old who has discovered the next phase of my life. I'm vibrant, beautiful. There's nothing anyone at any age can do that I can't do. Age does not limit us. It empowers us to use the wisdom we have gathered to be and act smarter and faster. Nothing can stop me from the joy, happiness, wealth, and abundance that I desire. God gave me so many amazing gifts, and I intend to use them all. Pretty different, right? Now, let me tell you what happened 5 years after she wrote the story, after she changed the story. She started her own business that's making more than enough for her perfect life. And her husband doesn't need to work anymore. She's traveled to over 25 cities in America and multiple other countries. She spoke to a variety of audiences about her transformation. She co-authored a book about her experiences. She bought a dream home overlooking the bay in Seattle. She paid for all of her children's college educations. She used her profits to pay for incredible family vacations. She lost weight. She got in the best shape of her life. She convinced her son to quit his energy-draining job in corporate America and work in her new business. She loves to drink great wine, eat wonderful food, and cherish her relationship with God on a new level. She's crossed off almost everything on her bucket list, smiles more than any other person anyone in her life knows, and it has inspired her children as they watched her go for what she wanted and achieved it. Gina noted that this may have been her greatest accomplishment. So who of you on here has an old story replaying in your head? I'm going to raise my hand and say, I do. Even when we were getting the rental car, this is a part of my old story. I was looking at what rental car we're going to get. And I was going for the cheaper of the rental cars. Like, we're looking at my son's getting it. He's 16. We're going to be getting him a car soon. There's a specific kind of car that he wants. Those cars were available for rent, but they were like, at the end of the week, it would be $1,000 more, right? And so I found myself like, no, I don't want to spend that much. Like, can't afford that. Don't want to do that. Thank God for my husband. My husband, we get to the rental car place. He's like, why don't we get that? And I was like, it's like $1,000 more. He's like, so what? Let's get it. So we did. But I still, because of where I came from and my lack of abundance in my younger years, I still think that way. And I sometimes don't even catch myself. And so don't do it. Don't do that to yourself. Get on the accountability call. Email me now, Rachel@purelifechangers.com, and say, I want to be a part of an accountability call so that we can teach you about the parasite, the villain living in your life that's trying to sabotage you from being like Gina. Imagine if she hadn't taken this class and learned how to do that, and she was stuck living that old life. Such a drastic difference. You have the choice today. Which of those lives am I going to live? Who in your life is speaking into you positive and who's speaking negative? Who's saying, oh, they're still doing that old business? Ha, ha, ha. Have you made any money yet? You know, oh, that thing, you're getting on a call for that thing. You know, have you made any money with that yet? Get those people out of your life. They will not ever help you get to where you want to go or where you need to be going. You don't have to cut them out automatically, but you need to be very aware at who you're allowing to be in your life and who you're listening to. Okay, those people need to be gone. It's one of the things we're going to be teaching about on the accountability call. This is an important thing to note, and I learned a lot from this. Focusing on your strengths and not your weaknesses. You know, throughout our life, we're taught to get better in areas that we're weak in and that we're naturally not good in. I'm not good in, this is weird because I'm analytical, but I'm not good in accounting and numbers. For some reason, like taxes and accounting blows my mind. I just cannot wrap my mind around it. And I used to be told by people in my life, you need to get better at that. I can't believe you don't know how to do that. And finally I was like, no, I'm going to pay somebody to do that so I don't have to do it. Recently I was with Linley and I was focusing on putting a flyer together for something. And she's like, stop doing that. That is not your strength. Let me do that. And so I've surrounded myself with people that are really good at specific things. And I no longer have to focus most of the time on things that I'm not good at. When I first started my business, you guys, I had to do everything. I'm not technologically savvy, I would tell myself, but I figured it out. I learned how to do Zooms. I learned how to download apps. I learned how to send out emails and do flyers and marketing because I needed to. But as you get better and better at your strengths, let's say you're really good at meeting people and talking to people. I'm going to use my husband as an example. My husband is not really good at following directions, but he's really good at meeting people and talking to people. I mean, he has never met a stranger. I guarantee you, he's out there talking to somebody on the beach right now, and he's not even watching the boys surf. He's meeting somebody. That is a strength of his that we've tried to focus on so that we can build our contact list and bring more people into our life who knows why God brought that person into our life. The girl who rented us a rental car today, she was an amazing person, and that a company is lucky to have her working for them. And I said when we were checking out, like, who are you? Like, you're amazing. Are you open to keeping to additional streams of income in addition to what you're doing here? Because you would do really good in my business. And she was like, what is your business? And I said, really, all we do is ask people to watch videos and they know right away if they're interested or not. And I already know you would do well. Is it okay if I send you something? Will you watch it? She was like, yeah, totally watch it. So she gave me her cell phone number. Like, constantly looking at and meeting people. I'm not really comfortable just starting a conversation with somebody, but my husband is. That's a strength of his. Rather than knocking him down about his strength and trying to focus on a weaknesses of his, which is you need to do, you know, you need to say this specifically when you talk to somebody, honey, and you need to do this and you do that. No, I need to focus on his strengths and really try to hone those strengths into something that work well. So what are your strengths? What are your strengths? Write them down. I want you to write them down. Write down what your strengths are. That's really big. And decide right now, like, you don't need to become really good at presenting if you're not good. It's okay. You don't need to be really good at connect calls if you can't do connect calls. It's okay. You've got a whole team of people who can do that for you. And decide today you're going to recruit people onto your team who are good at those things. Okay, so focus on your strength. That should give some of you some relief. Don't take advice from people that aren't successful. Let me say that again. Don't take advice from people that aren't successful in the area you're trying to be successful in. It will save you so much. If someone's not good at speaking, do not be taking advice from them. If someone's never built a 6-figure residual income business that they can walk away from and get paid while they're gone, while they live in a different country, don't take advice from them, okay? Take advice from people who've had success in the area you're trying to be successful in. As I wrap up, one of the quotes that Tony Robbins said that was put in this book that I'm about to show you, oh my goodness, it's powerful. Okay, so what if life happens for us, not to us? It made me sit and think about everything that's happened to me in the last 12 years of building this business, and in my entire life, quite frankly, right? Like, what even led me to the point that I think that the car we were going to rent today was too expensive for us? Like, all those things that happened to me. What if I just switch that word and I say everything happened for me? It happened for me to shape me into who I am, to make me the hard worker that I am. The experiences in the last 12 years in this business happened for me so that I could become the leader that I am, so that I can help you in the way that I help you. What about all the things that you hold tight and maybe you're bitter or unforgiving about? What if they happened for you? What if the way that your parents treated you, that they think maybe you shouldn't have treated them, that they shouldn't have treated you that way, and you're going to be a better parent, happened for you? What if the way the last person in your life who made you angry and you're bitter about it still, who you think about it right now, who have you not forgiven? You know you can't be blessed if you don't forgive, right? What if you just turn it around and say, what they did to me wasn't to me, it was for me, to take me to the next level. And forgive so that you can be blessed in the next year. Forgive and move on to the next thing. So email us, Rachel@purelifechangers.com. Tell me you want to be in an accountability group. We're going to be reaching out to you. I'm going to encourage you right now. Next action item, start looking up at what you want on your vision board. Write it down, okay? Write down what you want on your vision board and then start looking up pictures. You can use your phone, you guys. You can Google images of whatever it is that you want on your vision. Maybe you want to go to Oahu for 10 days with your family in the New Year's of 2021. Take images of it and put it into a little folder on your phone that you're going to sit down one day and someday soon and print out all those images and put them up on a huge framed picture in your house of what your future is going to be like. Many of you know my story of putting my commission payments. I printed out a pure commissions page and I literally changed the numbers. I added zeros and zeros and zeros to all the numbers, did it years ago. And I looked at it every single day. And in 2018, I turned around and looked and I had surpassed what I had written on that commission page. If you're not putting it in front of you and you're not looking at it, it's not going to work. You have to do it, you guys. Last two things I want to say. We talked a little bit about locking in 5-star today. You have until the night of December 31st to lock in the 5-star, lock in 4-star or 5-star for the year 2021 for the first 4 to 5 months. You can do that by purchasing a 4-star package, a 1,000 point package and locking yourself in through the end of April of 2021 to get 40% back on your repeat customer business. Or you can purchase a 2,000 point package and lock yourself in to get 50% back, which is a much better deal on your repeat customers purchases through May of 2021. Or if one of your personally sponsored preferred customers, let's say you have a personally sponsored preferred customer who purchases that package, you will also be locked in. But I'm going to throw one more thing in. So we have a leadership retreat, LifeChanger Leadership Retreat. I do it twice a year, every year that there's not COVID, but we actually are doing it. Yeah, it was once in 2020. We're going to do 2 in 2021. The one that's coming up is in the Keys. We have Kristen Hendricks, Linley Paske, Melissa Urban, and Esther Adesina. Congratulations. We're all eligible for this trip and earned it. And so this is the trip of a lifetime, really. And it's really to kick your business into high gear. But I'm going to do a second one in 2021. And one of the criteria for that trip will be negated if you lock in 4-star or 5-star in the month of December 2020. So if you've locked in 4-star or 5-star in the month, let's say you did it December 1st, December 2nd, December 3rd, whatever, in the month of December, you are locked in and you have knocked off the first criteria for the next LifeChanger retreat. And we have a few different places narrowed down. I'll tell you the one we're going to in January is to Sunset Key. You guys, this is a 2 to 3 night, sometimes all expenses paid trip that Javier and I take you on. And it's meant to have bonding time, business building time. We take you to the best restaurants in the area. We put you up in luxurious accommodations, and you get to mingle with other leaders and really build those relationships. And so there's a few criteria for every single one of these trips. Be watching for the announcement about that. But the first set of criteria, you'll have that knocked off already. If you have locked in your 4 or 5 star by purchasing or having a preferred customer purchase a 1,000 or 2,000 point order in December of 2020. So all of these things, I want to end by saying this again. Pause for a moment and think about December 27th to 2021. Where will you be? What would your best year have looked like? And then we're going to work backwards. I want you, when we get off, to really close your eyes and sit and imagine, what do you look like? What do you feel like? What has happened? Where do you live? What does your bank account look like? All of it. I want you to feel what that feels like. And we're going to work backwards, doing the things that we need to do to get you to that point, December 27th of 2021. Pure is set to have an absolute explosion in 2021, an absolute explosion. And we're going to be giving you everything you need. And there's no better way, I think, to tangibly press yourself to go out and get customers and build this business than to lock yourself in for the next 4 to 5 months to earn as much back as you possibly can on the repeat orders. It basically pushes you to go build a customer business. No more sitting back and like, I don't know why. If I can go talk to somebody at the car rental place and ask them if I can share a video with them, you can do this. You're just choosing not to. But we've just given you a whole hour's worth of tools to help you get to where you need to be. Rachel at purelifechangers.com. I want to be in an accountability group. Start printing out your vision board pictures, lock in that 4 or 5 star. And you guys, let's go make this the best year ever. I love you. I want all of you to be able to have the time freedom and financial freedom that we've been able to create with this business. And I will give as much as I can to help you get there. God bless everybody. Take care and Happy New Year. Bye-bye.